She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. We're really blessed that you decided to join us, and I hope that so far your day is going awesome on purpose. Today is going to be a new day for you. It's going to be a day of clarity. It's going to be a day where you define your life, how you want to live it. You see, you are inundated by messaging from the media and all sources of media, right? You got all the social media, you've got movies that are messaging you, selling you something. They're selling you an idea. Books. Yeah, if anyone reads the newspaper anymore. Or the news. We have messaging coming at us from all directions, not to mention from our friends and our coworkers and our family. Messaging coming from them. Why? Through the messaging of the media, talking through them, talking to us. Trying to help us figure out, what is life really about? What is my life purpose? What is success? If you're anything like myself, you started off young, being introduced to concepts like, okay, success is having a big title at the end of your name. Ooh, being somebody that maybe even has a business card, having some big professional career, or owning some gigantic business. Oh, and being your own boss and having other people answer to you instead of you answering to others. Oh, success. Yes, what is that? Yes, it means that I get to drive a brand new, very expensive car and I wear only real leather shoes. And they must be from Italy, and they're $500 to $1,000. Oh, success is my kids going to Ivy League schools. And success is that big, beautiful house with all that expensive furniture filling it. And don't forget about the art, because success is definitely having those pieces of art. Being able to eat out as often as I want to, dropping $10,000 in a day without breaking a sweat on what? A purse. A suit, something I want, a gadget, a toy. $10,000 ain't enough for some of them toys that are out there, but did you have the same kind of idea about what success was supposed to look like? And look, we have so many people striving for it. In fact, I don't know if you know these statistics, but 98% of the population is dead or dead broke at the age of 65, depending on their family, friends, and federal government for their main source of income. You don't want that to be you. But see, they have a certain way of living. They have kind of an ideal, a mantra, a brand that they represent. And unfortunately, although they think it will lead to success with buying all the things that I just finished talking to you about, it really ends up in financial failure. Oh, so much stress, often divorce, and a whole lot of pain and suffering. And don't forget about the several bottles of pills because of all the stress that you had and making all this money and going into all this debt and having all this junk that tore up your body. So today on this program, we are actually asking you the question, what is success to you? Let's explore this together. What is success to you? You know, we kind of talk about it, generally speaking, but I want to get down to the specifics. It's really a very important question, because you could be living your life unto something you don't even want, something that you don't even desire. So what does love play in your definition of success? What is in your definition of success? Let's talk about it. And not only talk about it, but let's hear from some of our faithful viewers of the Dani Johnson Show and listeners of the show who are defining it for themselves. We might get ideas from real people who are living real lives, who maybe have decided to kind of pull out of the rat race that the media sells us it's supposed to be, and kind of like, hey, this is what's important to me. So what is important to you? So we're going to the phones. We have Jennifer Ramsey from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Jennifer, what is success to you? Hello, Jennifer, are you there?
I wanted to travel and I wanted to help people. So we just started our own business, and it's a new business. But before that, we were just like you talked about. We were on government assistance. We were struggling because we were trying to meet society's idea of what success was.
So be a little bit more specific. What do you mean you want to help people? What do you mean, so give me that definition. What is all included in the success definition for you?
Helping people get out of basically where we were, stuck in the idea that you don't deserve, you don't have, you can't get, you have no way out. There are other ways out. You got to give them hope. Hope is where we are.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hope is part of success.
Yes. I totally agree with that. Because without hope, the heart is sick.
Yeah.
And out of a sick heart, we hurt people out of a sick heart. Yeah. Out of a sick heart, we hurt ourselves and we diminish opportunity. Like we hurt our lives from advancing forward when we lack hope. So I would agree with you that I believe that it's a good thing to have hope in our definition of success. There's a lot of people who have a lot of stuff and they have no hope. They have no hope at all.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who have a lot of money and yet they have no hope. Yeah. They have forgotten what that actually feels like. So to you, let me ask you a question. What does hope feel like?
This feeling in your heart that when things look bad, that it's not always going to be there.
Yeah.
And there's a way out.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling.
Yes.
It's kind of scary.
Yes.
But it's a really good feeling.
Yes. It's kind of like being in a really dark room and you can smell the mustiness in the room.
Yeah.
You can almost feel the moisture of it.
Yeah.
And yet all of a sudden, a light gets turned on. And it completely changes your perspective.
Absolutely.
And changes your life. I agree.
Yeah.
I much rather live with hope than with stuff.
Yeah. I don't have stuff, but I got hope.
Amen. Awesome. So good to hear from you, Jennifer. Thank you. We're going to Brianna Crow from San Antonio, Texas. Brianna, welcome to the show. What is success for you? How do you define success?
Success to me is being able to do what you want in life, with or without any constraints. Without any constraints, that would be a success to me. So personally, I really like riding horses. I want to spend my entire life riding horses. But I wasn't gifted with, unlimited pockets. So I kind of look towards what I like to do besides that. And to me, what I want to do to, be able to provide that lifestyle for myself is to go into sales, some home-based sales, which there are 1,000 out there to choose.
Yeah.
But that way, I love people and I love selling things. I love working with people. I love helping them, figure out what they need and getting them what they need. So to me, I want to do that to kind of make the income and be able to travel and show my horses and do exactly what I want.
That's awesome. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Are you married?
I am, yes.
Okay. So what if traveling around and showing your horses caused strain in the marriage? Does your marriage have any part of the equation of success for your life?
It does. My husband fully supports kind of, my dreams, and I've done I kind of jump off and do these things, and he always fully supports me. But I'm kind of learning now that if he doesn't, to kind of go back and think, how does this affect him? What does he say about this? And kind of keeping that in mind before, I just jump off and do something. But thankfully,
I'm going to ask the question again, Brianna. I'm going to ask the question again. What part of your success definition, is there any place that your love life is in that equation?
I guess not.
You're exactly right, girlfriend.
Yeah.
You're exactly flipping right. And you know what? That's most people. That in there, and again, don't feel bad about this, but we've been taught that success is everything outward. It's accomplishing something. It's dreaming about something and pursuing the dream and then getting the dream is what defines success. But there's a cost to pursuing anything. And so most of us in today's world have a very warped picture of success. And it does not include very important elements that really determine whether or not we will get that dream, whether or not we will pursue it and achieve it. So let's talk about this, girlfriend. Come on now.
Yeah.
Why is your marriage, your love life, not in your equation of success?
I don't know. I guess because it just always goes so well that I don't know. I guess I just kind of take advantage of it.
Oh, so you take your marriage and your love life, your husband, for granted. How long do you think that is going to lead a successful relationship?
Probably not for, as long as it should.
So,
which is, forever, technically.
So, what kind of a wife do you want to be? What kind of a lover do you want to be? Different than you are now.
Yeah, I think I probably need to take more of my marriage into consideration in that.
Brianna, do you know this is how marriages end up in divorce?
I can see that.
This is how marriages end. We lose interest in each other because we're not focused on each other. The dream becomes the higher priority. We like to fantasize about the dream. We like to focus on the dream. We like to put all our money towards the dream. We like to start a new business so we can fund the dream.
Yeah.
But what are you doing to pursue a love life that's bigger than the dream, that helps to bring the dream to pass together?
I guess nothing.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that.
Of course not, honey, because we've been programmed by society telling us that success has nothing to do with our personal relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary, isn't it? It's very, very scary.
Yeah.
You got some homework, Brianna. You got some homework. You need to start thinking about that. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this.
Did you know that your definition of success might actually be causing more problems than it solves? Coming up next, Dani will show you how you can tell if your success is actually a failure on The Dani Johnson Show.
Friend, you know me. You know how passionate I am about my faith and the land of Israel. I'm so excited to tell you about something directly from the Holy Land. A good friend in Israel has teamed up with a good friend here in the U.S. to bring an incredible product that harnesses the healing power of the Dead Sea. Have you heard about Mud Zero? Face it, we may not like to talk about it, but some of us need help with removing unwanted hair, especially in unwanted places. Mud Zero is a solution for all skin types for men and women. Rub the mask on your skin, let it sit for 5 minutes, wipe it off, and you have smooth skin without the irritation. Then follow it up with a Depi lotion daily to reduce hair growth by up to 50%. Best of all, you can feel good knowing that over 10% of the profits goes directly to King's Ransom to feed the orphan and the widow. Go right now to mudzero.com and take advantage of an introductory offer they've created just for us. mudzero.com. Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what families are dealing with in the poverty-stricken village of Santa Pancha, Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic food, water, and housing needs. We are transforming that village. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation to Santa Pancha. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do with your life? Discover your own answer. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
I believe you can have it all. I do. I really do. And almost sounded like I believe you could have it all. Hi, this is Dani Johnson. Today we are talking about your life and what does success mean to you? And who gave you the definition? Where did your personal definition of success come from? Is it like most people where it is, I want a big house, I want lots of toys, I want a lot of cars, I want. And yet it's missing the most important elements of daily living. It's all about stuff and pressure of performing, pressure of pursuing. I'm not saying that you can't achieve those things, but I am saying that you might have a personal definition of success that actually will cause you to never fulfill that dream. You might have a personal definition of success that might create big, giant barriers, giant potholes in the road to success because you're not paying attention to something that might be a little bit more important than the dream. The dream can come true, but it can't come true at the cost of your family. I used to live that way. We're going to the phones. We're asking our friends who listen and tune in to the Dani Johnson Show, what is success to them? We have Tim from Northeast Pennsylvania. Tim, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. So tell me, what is success to you?
Hi, Dani. The success to me is I realized in the past couple months what success is to me. I started coaching about 3 months ago, and just never felt better in that space before. Just helping other people and helping them get what they want and their dreams, helping them fulfill their dreams. And I've owned 3 franchises in my life for the past 15 years, and I'm in the process of selling the 3rd one now, just because I'm looking for a better way, without everything that you just spoke about, the pressures. And I lost my dad 3 months ago, and just really had a wake-up call. And I'm looking to, do things differently.
So, Tom, when you say that you had a wake-up call, what was the wake-up call when your dad passed? And I'm so sorry, by the way, about your loss.
The wake-up call was that my dad worked hard all his life and missed most of me growing up. And he was fortunate enough the last 10 years of his life to be able to spend as pretty much a full-time babysitter for my kids and my sister's kids, and never saw him so happy in all my life.
Wow.
And at that point I realized not until he had passed that the last 10 years of his life were probably the happiest years of his life, because he didn't have all that extra pressure, and he worked constantly, and it just I was going down that same road.
Yeah.
Well, I have been up until right now. I'm still in it right now. It's just I feel that I found my true passion now.
Yeah. And is your true passion just helping other people outside your family to succeed, or?
I started doing some real estate coaching. I have a real estate investment company where I flip homes and keep some for myself within the past 2 years, and it's greatly because of tuning into to you that I've done that. I've done everything that you just spoke of was the success thing, building a big house, fancy cars, toys out, and it's just I'm at a different point in my life. I'm 44. My wife is 43, and my kids are 17, 16, and 10.
Yeah.
And I miss way too much of their lives.
Yes.
And, just working to pay for stuff. And now when I make money now, I invest in real estate, and for passive income, and that's where all my money goes, and that's the way that I'm teaching my children now. Mm-hmm. And it's been a learning lesson for the past 2 to 3 years.
So are you saying that before your dad passed, and before you started tuning into the teaching here at DaniJohnson.com, success for you was owning a lot of stuff, having these 3 successful franchises, right? And, making money and buying toys, right? And having the big house. But this new season, you're like, none of that is important. And I've lost time with my kids. Come on, you have a 17-year-old. That's scary, isn't it, Tom? It sucks. When you're looking at
it really is scary.
It really is scary.
It's just I lost her whole childhood. I mean, I have my son. I spend a great deal of time with him right now, but it's like she's going to be she's a junior in high school. It's just I feel like
it's almost
like I was there, but I wasn't there.
Yeah,
because I was always
busy with business and making deals. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
In your face and in your corner. You've never had a coach like this before. This is the Dani Johnson Show. Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First steps to success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
Have you chased something that didn't turn out the way that you thought it was? We just had Tom call in right before the last break, and he was talking about that he had chased, he owned 3 franchises and, had a lot of success, bought all the stuff, and his father passed away recently. After he looked at his dad's life, his dad missed out on his childhood. In the last 10 years of his father's life, he hung out with his grandkids and saw that was the happiest time of his life without all the pressures of making a living. Now listen, there's making a living, and then there's making more than a living, and then there's getting greedy and having to climb that scope of what our society tells us success is. And I'm here to challenge that every day, because I lived that the first 10 years of making money. I went from a homeless woman to a multimillionaire, and all the stuff that I bought, all it did would add more pressure and took me away from things that were important to me. And it wasn't until I had lost my health twice, it wasn't until I ended up with almost $1 million worth of debt hanging over my head and the pressure of trying to keep up with the Joneses, which, by the way, the Joneses are broke. Why are you trying to keep up with them? But it wasn't until I had that major wake-up call that my life was surrounded by greed, and that my priorities were money, 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 stuff, everything that it could buy, and of course, all the recognition that came with my exciting career of speaking around the globe. Pathetic life that I was living. So the last decade and a half, we made some monster changes exactly 15 years ago, where it was like, nope, no thank you, this stinks. Don't want to go there anymore. Tom found himself in a similar place. We were just talking about, Tom, your 17-year-old daughter, and how you felt like you worked, most of her life, and that you were gone. And so you just said something that was very powerful, because I think there's some moms and dads right now that really need to hear this. And what you said is, I feel like I really wasn't there. Like you might have been there physically, but not there emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Talk about that a little bit.
I realized I truly, I've been taking a coaching class, and I realized that just I was not present. I may have been in their company, but I was always concerned with something else. My mind was always working on whether it be my business. I was constantly getting phone calls.
Yeah.
So it was. I've never been on. Put it this way: I've never been on a vacation where I could put down my cell phone.
Yeah.
It's always been near me. It's always been close to me, because it's been pretty much my lifeline. It was like my best friend, and I don't want that life any longer.
Yeah.
Just I'm done with it.
Yeah. How do you think that affected your marriage?
Well, I've been married for 19 years, so it was a struggle.
Yeah.
My wife is a juvenile probation officer that really does not. Money is not one of her. It's not one of her passions. She can take it or leave it.
Yeah.
So it was always something. It was my dream. It was my, everything was me. So it was very difficult on her, because she was the one that had to pick up the pieces for the kids, and while I was out, chasing a dollar.
Yeah.
So it was difficult, but I mean, we've been together a long time, and we got through it, and we appreciate each other so much more now.
Yeah.
And it's just, our marriage has been great the past year.
That's so awesome. That's
unbelievable.
so awesome. So when you say that you were chasing a dollar and your wife, her needs are not expensive. So I have a question for you. Why? That, right? You took on a bride 19 years ago, and your job is to help to provide for her. I see this happen so much. It even happened in our marriage with my husband when he started to become very successful financially. It was the same thing. It owned him. And he used to say, this is for you. This is for you. I'm like, my needs are not this. I don't need any of this. I don't want a big house. It's more for me to clean. I don't want all of this crap. This is pressure on me. And I don't want all this pressure on you. And it was very interesting how he had it wrapped around his head that it was all for me. But yet I never communicated nor ever wanted anything that he was working for. Did you find yourself in that same place? Why were you doing it? Why were you chasing that buck?
It's the same scenario. It's the same. It sounds identical, because I would tell my wife, I would tell her that I'm working so hard so that you can possibly leave your job, be a stay-at-home mom kind of thing. And it was, her job drives her out of bed in the morning. She loves helping people. She's passionate about helping kids. And so it was something she never wanted to stay. She never wanted to leave her job. She, she would take 6 months to a year off when the babies were born, and it wasn't like we were sending them to daycare. It was my parents took care of the kids, so it was a great.
Yeah.
We had everything we needed there. But it was all me. It was in my head. It was my vision of success, and pretty much exactly what you said, keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
And that's and then I realized when my dad passed, like, you don't take any of this stuff with you.
No.
I mean,
you leave it behind for everyone to fight over, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And I just don't want any of it anymore. I'm just at a different point in my life right now. I'm just glad it happened. I'm glad it's happening now.
Yeah. Before it drives you into the grave faster, because that does happen.
I'm 44. I haven't had time to take care of myself. Yeah. I've let myself go. Finally started taking care of myself last January. I ran my first half marathon this year. Really just starting to concentrate on myself, my family, my home life, and that's it. It's just it was just a rude awakening for me.
Tom, I am so proud of you. I really am. I have tears in my eyes. I'm really so proud of you that you had this revelation and that you've made these drastic changes. Because in all of it, right? So when you look at your old definition of success, it was all about money and stuff, right? And impressing people you don't even know. But your family was not in that equation. Your marriage was not in the success equation. Your health was not in the success equation. It was all stuff.
It was stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff, and that's it. Money and stuff, and a dream that was in my head and only in my head. It wasn't beneficial to my family.
What do you say? What do you say to the man that is listening right now? And there might be a woman that's listening, because you know what? I hate to say it, but both men and women alike are guilty, right, in the same role. They are. I've seen the wives who have been the driving force. Gotta make more money, and she's addicted to her shopping, and she vicariously lives through her children. And what do I mean by that? I mean that the success of her children determines whether or not she's successful. Her identity is wrapped up in where her kids go to school, where she works, and what her kids are wearing, what stupid backpack they have. I mean, it's ridiculous how our identity could be wrapped up in all the wrong stuff. So men and women alike do this. Okay, I did it. My husband did it. 99.9999% of the hundreds of thousands of our clients who've come through First Steps to Success and have utilized the training at our Creating a Dynasty and our website. What do you say to the man, the husband specifically, that is living his life the way you were up until a year ago?
Is it really worth it? I mean, is my biggest wake up call is my children. I don't want. I'm like you're handed down all the rotten habits that your parents were taught and their parents were taught.
Yes.
So right now I'm at a point where I was realizing that I was teaching my kids how to live way above their means, and putting so much pressure on myself, where in all reality I'm teaching them to do the same exact thing. They think that that's normal, and I don't want that for them. I don't want my kids to it took me 25 years to figure this out. I don't want them to have the same crap that I handing down to them that I was fed.
Yes.
So as of right now, I mean, they still have right now they're learning that when we make money that we invest it in real estate, and then someday it's all going to pay off because we can live very comfortably with that passive income and don't have to really bust our butt for it. But if I had started 25 years ago,
could you imagine?
So it's,
You're also teaching them how to be a parent. You're teaching them how to spend time with their kids. You're teaching them how to love their future wives and husbands. You're teaching them that family is more important than what society says is important. You're teaching them all of those lessons by making your family a higher priority than stuff. Tom, it's an honor to meet you. I am so proud of you. I'm inspired by you. I know you inspired others today. Thanks so much for calling in and sharing what you just shared with us. It took a lot of humility to be transparent in front of a program like this, in front of me, in front of everybody. So I'm really very grateful for you. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Everyone has their own definition of success, but there are a few items that if you don't have them in your definition, you're going to fail. Dani has a checklist for you next on The Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. The most common question I get usually are from people who are trying to juggle their life. They've got kids who are involved in all kinds of activities. They've got business or their job, finances, trying to get out of debt, plus all their church activities and all the volunteer activities, and they're pulling their hair out going, how do I juggle this all? Man, I once lived just like that until I learned Time Secrets. Time Secrets showed me how to be able to cut my hours from 100 hours a week that I was working down to 20 hours a week and tripled my income as a direct result with what I learned. Time Secrets also showed me how to get my priorities in order, which healed up my marriage. And I became a mother that I was proud of versus becoming the mother I didn't want to be. And so if you feel like your world is running around in all kinds of different circles, you can fix that. Call 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880 for Time Secrets.
And now, back to The Dani Johnson Show.
Do you have a strategy for your version of success? Do you even have a version? And what problems will arise in your version of success? Just like earlier in the program, we had Brianna from San Antonio, Texas, that called in, and she gave me her definition of success. And then I asked her, are you married? Well, her definition of success had nothing to do with her marriage at all. Like he, the man she sleeps with every day, was not even in the picture of her definition of success. And it's very clear, and she realized, that's how people end up divorced. So do you have one? Hopefully today you're defining one, okay? Should it include your love life? Yes, with your spouse. Because if you don't have a spouse, you shouldn't have a love life. The love life is for married people. So get married and have a love life. Have a wild sex life while you're at it. Like wild. Have some fun. Sweat. I could say a whole lot more, but we need to do a show on sex. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, so yes, your sex life, your love life. Okay, what about who you are as a parent? Where is that definition in your equation? What about your health? What about that in your equation? Okay, and then what about the people that are affected in your life by pursuing that dream. It doesn't mean throw away the dream. It means that you need to have a much clearer, more rounded picture of success, because when you don't have those factors in, like your health, well, you'll die before you see the dream come to pass. If your family, your husband, your wife is not in that equation, I promise you'll end up divorced, which will delay the dream coming to pass or cause you to quit on it. Okay. The kids, I promise you, neglecting your kids will cause them to act out against you and cause all kinds of drama in your life. And that will also abort the dream. Okay. What about your finances? What is your financial plan while pursuing that dream? Because if that isn't in order, like getting out of debt, that would be an important thing, to live debt free and to live way below your means. That if you don't live like that, I promise you, the financial disaster that you have ahead of you will stop you and abort, cause your dream to miscarry, and it will not happen. It'll be a death, the death of you. So that's why I harp on so bad about you making sure that you do not let society tell you what success is. You got to define it for yourself. Define it for yourself and make sure that it's full, that it's meaningful, purposeful. Yes, because then it will be powerful. All right, we're going over the phones again. We're asking questions of our faithful viewers and listeners of the Dani Johnson Show. What is success to you? Dorian Herrera from San Diego, California. Welcome to the show. Hello, Dorian.
Yes. Hi, Dani.
Hi.
How are you?
So what is success? What's your definition of success?
Well, kind of like Tom, I think my definition of success has definitely changed over time. I would say that now, at the age of 30, after having accomplished what I thought was the ultimate goal, which was to receive an education and to go to law school and finish law school and make my mom happy.
Oi! I
know now that
wow.
I've accomplished that. It's not really that. That's not what success is.
Right.
It's not about, obtaining a degree or money or I've always known that money wasn't success. But now, more than ever, and thanks to your book that I read over the summer, I know that success is, discovering and exploring what your purpose in life is. And it's funny because of my fake definition of success, which was to finish law school and become a lawyer, I sort of found my new definition of success. And what I mean by that is, over the summer, I also did my first trial. And my victim was a domestic violence victim. And it opened up my heart, it opened up my eyes to this passion that I have within myself, which is to help survivors and victims of domestic violence, because I too was a survivor of that. Wow. So, anyways, I think success and the definition of success will change with, time and growing, and I think part of it is just being open to, good and bad things that happen in life, and learning what we need to learn from them and continuing down our path.
Yes. Wow. Honey, I'm so sorry, by the way, that you're a victim of domestic violence.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. You and I, sister, could talk. You and I could talk. Yes, I grew up around that stuff, emotionally, physically, mentally, verbally, sexually abused. I moved out of the house because of it at 16. Because I couldn't do it anymore. I'm done. And then I found myself in other domestic violence situations as well, even after that. So you're saying that your old definition of success was living your life for your mother's dream.
Yes.
And that resulted in a whole lot of debt.
Yes, $200,000.
$200,000 of school loans.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And now you want to do something that has nothing to do with that degree.
Well, it's funny because I'm happy that I have my degree, and I see already in just 5 months of being a lawyer how many people have reached out to me in different ways that I've been able to help people, and so I'm excited about that path too. But I know that that's not the end all be all, and that's not it for me.
Right.
So I'm excited about that.
Right. Yeah. And that's using what you have to work for you. Even though it was the wrong reason to get that law degree, a wrong reason to have that $200,000 of debt, which is a mortgage without a house. You know what I mean?
Right.
But now you've got, more purpose added to it, and it's not so much about your mother anymore. And that's really important because a lot of people do. A lot of people have goals and dreams just to make someone else happy. And once you get there, you ain't happy. And there's a heavy price for it. And it wasn't what you wanted to pay, and it's not what you wanted to do. And so it's really important to make sure as you're defining success that it's not for something like that. I want to do this for my mom because my mom wants this. Scary. We've got Kat Perrin from Maine. What's your definition of success, Kat?
Hey, Dani, how's it going?
Good.
My definition of success is just simply being happy where you are. No matter what your bank account shows, just being happy and at peace with where you're at.
Yes. You know what, girlfriend? That's a mouthful right there. Because you can have $1 billion in the bank account and be miserable. People are miserable that make millions.
Amen.
It's true. And then people can be miserable in some high-powered profession or having, for companies or whatever, thinking that was what was successful, yet they can be so miserable in those places. And so if you are not satisfied, contentment is what you're explaining. It's contentment.
Right.
And being at peace, no matter what position you have, no matter what other people are doing, no matter how much is in the bank account, contentment, that is true success. I 100% agree with you on that. Man, Kat, thank you so much for sharing. It's incredible. I love it. I just love it. Okay, I got Dennis from Mississippi. What's your definition quickly for success?
Yes, my definition is having just enough to live comfortably, and on top of that, have plenty to give to the poor and needy.
Yes.
But not having to work all the time so that I can spend time with my God and with my family and friends.
Yes. See, again, this is a piece of contentment with not being driven by things that drive you, but instead making your life useful. I think that your definition is awesome. And I think that all of us can learn from that kind of a definition. So again, it's like having enough to eat, to live on, being able to give some to the poor, and being able to spend time with the most important relationship in your life, which to her and mine is God. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this.
Don't go away. The next segment might just change your life. This is The Dani Johnson Show.
I just heard this amazing story. One of our clients had written us telling us that they had used job domination and unlimited success and has absolutely exploded their career. He said, Dani, I don't know where I'd be today without job domination and unlimited success. Listen, do you want more recognition from your coworkers? Do you want to be recommended to people all over the world? Do you want to be somebody that is highly sought after? Listen, if you're in a dead-end place where this gentleman found himself, but then learned new strategies and changed everything in his work life, and obviously this has resulted in higher bonuses and pay raises, you're next. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of Job Domination right now. 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880. Job domination. That's what you need. It's time for you to dominate the job market and break through the rut that you're in.
What multimillionaire do you know that volunteers their time to help ordinary people like you and me? There's only one. This is The Dani Johnson Show.
Well, you know what? As you are creating that definition of success, I know that you got some ideas today. I'm sure you did, and I would love to hear from you. Also, I think that very last, Denise, where Denise had shared enough to live on and enough to give to the poor. That's in my personal definition of success as well. It really is. It's not only, yes, I mean, to me, my relationship with my husband is my most important physical earthly relationship. I love to spend time studying the Bible and spending time with God and praying and being with other people that do the same. And I love being with my husband. I love just he and I spending time together, whether it's sitting outside or sitting next to each other on the couch and just talking, just chatting, being involved in each other's lives, slowing ourselves way, 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 way down, enjoying meals together, and then being with our kids and doing things with them just in the house, simple living. These things are just so much higher of a success priority for me than business and then money and all of that stuff. And for years I chased that. And then I came to a place of, no, it's not worth it, man. The price is so high. And what happened as a direct result is that even though I cut my hours way back, I ended up making so much more money. And the purpose for that money for me personally is to give it to the poor. And so that's all part of the equation. So God and my family, my husband, my kids, okay, my extended family, and my work, and the work resulting in taking 100% of the profits and giving it to the poor. I challenge you. Are you taking care of the poor? They're all around us. They're in countries surrounding us as well. They really are all around us. There's homeless people in every city in the country that I live in. What about the country you live in? There's something that we can be doing to help them. Go to kingsransom.org and look at this project that we're working on. Because if you don't have a project to work on, add this to your life. It'll add so much purpose and contentment and joy and happiness for you and the whole family, or you and your whole company, that you have joined on this adventure of adding purpose to money. kingsransom.org, you'll see 39 different organizations that they are supporting. 100% of the money that you give to King's Ransom goes straight to the actual cause, not to administrative costs, but to actual food that feeds the poor orphan, the shelter that houses them, the education. The money goes straight to them versus something else that is disgusting that we see in the charity world. So in this case, King's Ransom right now is working on a project where they're building 1,000 homes in Nicaragua for the extreme poor, as well as putting these people into business. These 1,000 families will be taught business for 2 years. They'll be given seed to start businesses and new skills that they're learning to be in business so they can be self-sustaining. On top of that, we're bringing in clean water. These kids and these families will have a completely new life because you and I are doing something with our life that is powerful. Do what you can right there. If you see it right there on the homepage, it says building 1,000 homes. Click that. And you'll see where we're at in our goal of doing it. It only costs $5 million to build 1,000 homes. That's nothing. Help us do that and help your family as well. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this.
Did you hear that last segment? Do you know someone else who needs to hear it? Go to DaniJohnson.com, find today's show, and share it online. Join us every weekday at 7 a.m. for more insights that will help you get to the life you've always wanted.
The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success.